What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video on the channel. So the time right now is 11:30. I just got done with clients for the morning. We had a 2-man limit in just under about like 2.5 hours. So my day has ended early, and the way that the forecast is going right now, looks like our lakes are gonna freeze up here in the next couple days, and that's gonna put me basically out of work for the next 5 to 6+ days. So seeing as how it is pre-noon, and things are good, the fish are biting, and we have very limited time to get back on the lake before things lock up. I thought that I might try and get back out and make one more video. So I think that's what we're gonna do. I've got the day free until the kids get out of school. So we're gonna get the crest liner loaded back up here, get everything ready, go out and make another crappie video for you guys before the lakes freeze up, because it is coming. So stick around, looking forward to another fire bite. Hopefully those fish have not shut off, but I'm gonna go right back to where I put my clients on that 2-man limit. The bite was fire. We had a lot of big fish too, or good fish, I should say. So it should be fun. So stick around, and we'll see you guys out at the lake. All right, we have made it to the lake here, getting right back on the spots that I was this morning. So I think in this video, just kind of to start off, we've got a lot of questions on how we actually find these crappies this time of year, and I feel like this is going to be kind of repetitive for you guys who have seen these videos in the past, but for new kind of fresh information, this time of year when it pertains to crappies, for me anyway, is all about the river channel. So obviously in Kansas, all these lakes that we have here are not natural glacial lakes. They're all reservoirs impounded by the state, rivers that were impounded by the state. So this time of year, those crappies are always keying in on river channel edges. Anytime where there's trees or brush piles or anything around, that's what we're looking for. And a lot of it is just putting Livescope down on the river channel and just kind of looking around. But for me, I obviously have tons of numbers on this lake, so we just kind of bounce from one to the other. But the best thing to do is just use your Garmin mapping or whatever mapping you guys might have, and then kind of turn on some depth shading here so it can pick out the river channel. River channels on reservoirs are really easy to see, so when you highlight depth shading, you can just follow that all around the whole entire lake where that river channel snakes around. Put Livescope down and just scan from there. A lot of times with these fish, especially when they're schooled up, when you're scanning around, you can see them schooled up on down imaging. We're not on any sort of number or anything right now, so we're not gonna see too much, but obviously you can see there's a little brush pile right there. But all I do this time of year is just peruse the whole entire river channel. Some lakes have 1 creek coming into them, some lakes have 2. This one has 2, but for me, I just get where the river channel is, and I just put Livescope down and I just start scanning around. That's why we spent all this money on electronics, right? To use them, especially your mapping. So on my Garmin maps, I run the Garmin Navionics Plus. It shows me a little bit better contours, some road beds, obviously the river channels, some submerged brush, but I like to find all the stuff that's not on the map. So I hate to say it, and I say this in my Garmin seminars all the time, but time on the water is just what's gonna help you find these groups of fish, because a lot of times the spots that you find are gonna produce year after year. A lot of these numbers on this creek channel that I'm fishing right now produce year after year, so that's exactly what we're looking for. But my suggestion would be to just find the river channel, put Livescope down, or slowly scan around with down imaging, find those groups of fish, and just rail on them. So that's exactly what we're gonna do today. But again, cannot stress enough how it helps to just use whatever mapping you might have, find that river channel in your lake, and then follow it all the way around. Because as you can see, I've got tons of numbers here, and that's where those fish are going to be. So with that being said, we're going to navigate over to what was good this morning, put Livescope down, and I'll show you exactly how to catch these fish. Okay, well, I guess the one thing I forgot to mention is that temperatures have been sub-freezing all morning, and seeing as how I was already out on the lake once today with clients, my trolling motor has now frozen to the cradle. So it's going to take a little bit of pushing and elbow grease to get this guy unlocked here. I wish I had somebody else with me. There it goes. Just got to push her through. Yeah, it's cold. It's definitely still below freezing right now. So we'll get the 1243 XSV fired up here and put Livescope down and start perusing around for those giant schools of big crappies like we're looking for. Get the sea light all in here and locked in. Again, for you guys that have questions on the setup that I run, all the links are in the description, but for regular viewers, this is gonna come as no surprise, but I run the Sea Light pole on my boat. I've got two. I've got one rigged up with the LVS 32 in the back, LVS 34 in the front. Best Livescope pole on the market and best guys to work with. So if you guys are in the market for a Livescope pole, please check Sea Light out. We are way past our numbers here, so we'll get spun around, start looking around, get my phone connected to the graph here in the meantime too, get Livescope recording, and should be pretty fun. I've got 2.5 hours here to get the video for you guys before I've got to be back home, so that's what we're gonna try and accomplish. All right, we got everything recording here. We're about to blow right over all of our fish, or at least some of them. Oh, there they are. Hello, ladies. We're gonna go and set up right over the top of you. Get it close, spot lock, see where we land. Grab a rod, start fishing. These guys look good. So again, just like the last video, running the double jig rig. We've got an 1/8 ounce on the bottom here and a 1/16 ounce on the top. These colors were working good this morning, that kind of blue and ice blue and chartreuse, and then obviously the split body purple and chartreuse. So just get baits down there. Just like the last video too, these schools, you'll typically tend to see those bigger fish on the outside of the school. Those are the ones we're going to target. So like I said, they were really good this morning. Oh, got one. Yep, first keeper. Not a giant, but today's video we're not keeping anything. This is no catch and cook. That'd be a 10.25 incher. We're just doing this for fun. So like you guys can see, that school is going to shift just a little bit, so use your trolling motor, just kind of jog with the Minn Kotas 5 feet at a time out in front of them. Give it a little pitch. We're going to pendulum it right down through the school, see if we can get another one. There's really nothing to it. Sometimes obviously we pull those baits away from the fish to get them to chase it. Other times they just race up and bite it without you having to do anything. So let's see if one of these guys will do it here. We took one of their buddies out of the school almost immediately. Here comes one. Oh, missed him. That was a quick swipe. Probably not going to do it again. But when I've got baits down there, look at this guy. He's coming right out to check it out. Oh, he left. My baits are over there. Get it. Oh, missed that one too. Super sneaky, super quick. I'm just swiping at it. We're gonna have to reposition on this school here. Here they come. Take it away from them. Nope, didn't want to swim. Set it right up in there. How about you, sir? Oh, big one. Big one. Oh, two of them. Missed both of them too. Poop. Amateur hour. Cannot set the hook. It's just been one of those days. Wow. 3, 4 in a row. Unreal. That's all on me, guys. So anyway, we're just gonna work from school to school and just try and catch some fish. Today is just all about having fun, because like I said, the way the water temps are, we've got 33-degree water temps, and the way the forecast is going right now, these lakes are going to freeze again, unfortunately. So wow, these fish are way too aggressive for their own good. But yeah, we're just out here for fun, try and catch some fish, not keeping anything. Show you guys some more fun Livescope footage, because like I said, this morning was really fun. It's now noon. They're still really charged up, but we need them to be choking the baits. So I was hoping to catch one more before I stopped the clip. Nope, not gonna do it. So we're gonna reposition on the school because I've got the pole pointed over this way. I guess we could just do a little pitch out there. It's gonna be a little farther. It's way out on the right side of the screen because we're only looking 20 feet out here. We know those baits are coming right through the school. Just wait for a thump here. Got him. That's a good one. He feels like he's hooked weird, and it's because that he is. So we'll end this clip here. Reposition on the school, get after him. Well, that looks pretty good. I reckon there's a few fish down there. And everything is definitely still freezing up here, my fishing rod included. Come up and get it. Oh, he just pushed it. He didn't bite it, he just pushed it. So when running the double jig rig, normally what I do is I will just get that bait down there and I will settle it. So say we're starting from scratch, we've got our baits right up here. I will go and settle those baits right into the school so I can see the first jig. Oh gosh, another one. But typically I'll just wait and see if one's gonna come up and crush it without me having to move it. And then if nobody moves, wow, I missed another one. If nobody moves, I will slowly pull those baits out of the school because crappies love chasing baits, and I got that one. Another nice keeper. That was kind of our average size this morning, 11.5 to 13. That's probably an 11-incher right there. Kind of a messed up dorsal fin. He's missing like the whole thing. But anyway, that's the program. It's either a dead stick bite or you slowly just pull it away from them and don't stop until they bite. But you have to gauge the mood of the fish. You know, if you've got your baits down there and you see one screaming across the screen to your bait, you probably don't want to pull it away from him. He's probably just going to hit it as it's sitting there. But sometimes, especially with the bigger ones, they need just a little bit more coaxing, like that guy. See, taking it away from him and he swims right back down. I know for sure when crappies are not going to bite, but obviously on Livescope it's fun to work them up just like that. Missed them. A lot of those smaller ones are just kind of spitting on it. But for a lot of you guys that wonder how we're catching these crappies, it's really pretty simple. Got that one. That's another good one. Oh, I dumped him right. I saw him. That was a big one. There's not a lot to it. Some of the most fun you can have in the middle of January in the wintertime until your guides are freezing up and things are just a little bit more difficult. So just a lot of fun. Oh yeah, big one. That's, oh, yeah. That's the kind. Those big ones today have been extremely bitey. You know, last couple days maybe were a little bit tough for the bigger ones, but still getting a ton of fish. But today, those 12 and 13s have been very cooperative. They know what's coming. They know that big cold front and hard freeze is coming. So they are biting, and that's why I'm back out here for a second time today, and it's just now noon. I mean, look at that. The schools this time of year, like my dad even called me last night, and when he watched my last video, he was like, dude, I thought those were all white bass. Oh, there's another one. Another good keeper. But yeah, I mean, you see these schools like that in the river channel, and you're like, oh my God, are those shad or white bass or wipers? That's what wipers look like too, but nope. This time of year, I'm always looking for massive schools of crappie. I know everyone's always piled up on the brush piles everywhere, but when you can find big schools like this in the river channel, they're gonna be your bigger fish, and they're gonna be on fuego, just like that. So that is one thing I recommend, is stop focusing so much on the trees or, you know, standing timber or brush piles, and just look for these schools that are out off the main river channel, sometimes right on the edge of it, that look like that. I mean, that's insane. There's so many fish there. It's just so much fun. That's why I love doing Livescope videos this time of year, because it's so much more engaging. Top jig. Oh my God, that fish hammered it, and it's giant. That's the biggest one yet. Oh, I'm so glad I came back out. That's a big 13er right there probably, and she's going back in. Luckiest crappies in the lake. I've got way more than enough fish, and after this morning with my clients on my guide trip, they owe me absolutely nothing, so we're just having a lot of fun. Look at that. It's another small one. He was pretty dumb for that blue and chartreuse, but usually on cloudy days like this, you guys can see it's pretty overcast here, I'd go for more of a contrasted color like that purple and chartreuse, but man, that ice blue and chartreuse has been on fire the last couple weeks here, so we're just rolling with it. Oh, but just remember too, guys, like I was talking about before, because some people say I don't talk enough about what I'm actually doing, is, yep, another nice one, another keeper. When you get those baits down to the fish, you just have to gauge their mood. Livescope is a perfect example of how you can actually do that, because if you see that fish screaming super fast up to your bait, you probably don't have to move it away from him like that one, but I missed it. But when that fish, especially big ones, they're slowly moving up to your bait, you have to slowly take it away from them, because the longer they look at your bait, the less likely you are to get them to bite. Like that guy, he got up to a certain point and he's going right back down to the school, so then I drop those jigs right back down, take it away from him. That was, if I wasn't fishing with my left hand because I was going to tighten the sea light pull down, I would have caught that one. But it is really fun to get them engaged by just slowly taking it away from them or letting them just crush it. Oof, didn't do it. See what I mean? Nothing I could do there. They either do it or they don't. Got that one though. Oh, I lost him. Crap. Hook's good. Never got snagged this morning. This jig, this redneck rubber jig, lost half of the paint on it because we caught a lot of fish this morning. We probably were over 80 fish, but only kept 40 of them, obviously. But so anyway, that's the program. I've got an absolute giant. I wish I had the net. You can see a walleye or something tried to take a bite out of that one. So good explanation of what we're doing and how we're doing it this time of year in the winter time. So I hope that helps you guys. But for now, I'm done talking. We're just gonna catch them. That is really just, I say that in a lot of my videos, a live scoper's dream screen. It helps when the fish are biting, for sure, like that. Oh my God, dude. These hooks are so good, so I'm gonna blame the lost fish on my own issues. But they are extremely charged up. And one thing to remember too, is that crappies are always looking up. So always keep the bait up above the fish, because they will come up for it, no questions asked, as long as it's above their head. Don't put it right in front of their face, keep it right above them, and they'll notice it's there and they'll come up for it. But that little group, oops, spooked that one off. Got him. Another good keeper, not a giant, but a good 10.5, 11 incher. Doesn't get any better. That school is now kind of shifted just a little bit off to the left here, so I'm just gonna jog my Tarova to the left 5 feet, get back over the top of them, drop it right in. They don't seem too affected by the trolling motor today because we've got a little bit of northwest wind, Here he comes. Got him. I know I always complain about not enjoying crappie fishing in the winter, but it's not that I don't enjoy it. It just gets really tiresome doing it for 2.5 to 3 months out of the year. But as far as Livescope footage videos go for you guys, this is as good as it gets. And they are so stupid and hungry today that I could have a 20 fish limit in probably maybe 30 minutes conservatively. Just jogged over, getting back on the school here. Take it to the outside fish. Got one coming up out of the cone. That's okay. A little too quick for him, but we'll just get it down to his buddies. Wow, look at that. Top jig, way too high up for that fish to go for. Trolling motor's trying to get settled here. There's another big one. Having a hard time keeping an eye on my baits there because the trolling motor's moving back and forth. Let them come up and get it. Boop! Too easy. I am so glad that I came back out today. There's only one other boat out here, and it's one of my previous clients, Whit. He's all the way down there, and we're just railing them. So I don't know how many fish you guys are going to see in this video, but I'm just going to show you guys how, if you're coming out to get a limit for yourself, which remember, 20 fish is 40 fillets. You don't always have to keep a 20 fish limit every day, and you got to remember possession limit is a thing, so that is 3 times your daily limit in Kansas. Just be a little bit more selective. That's why I'm throwing all mine back today. That's a dink. But if you got a big fish fry coming up, I highly encourage you to get out and get your 20 so you can have 40 fillets for all your friends and family. Right down to the school. It's up above. Here they come. Oh my God. Dinky one. Barely got that one. No, it's not a dinky one. That's another keeper. So today I think is just going to be another 20-minute limit video. 25 minutes, whatever you want to call it, and either try and make another video pertaining to something different or just go home and enjoy the day, because between a guide trip and coming out to make a video like this for you guys, so stupid. There's another one right there. I don't even know how many fish we're at because I'm not counting, because I'm not keeping, but just insane. So that being said, for all you guys who are watching this wherever you're at in the country and you want to come out and see me and book a guide trip for the winter time, January through February is the absolute most fire time. And obviously we have issues with the lake freezing over from time to time. That's just the dice that you roll this time of year. But as far as the bite goes, oh, we didn't do it. On fire. Only time I ever fish for crappie during the course of the year in the winter time, and there are lots of reasons for that, but kind of goes without saying. Bite it. Oh. Got that one. Finally. Got one to go. They got a little smart. Almost thought about switching colors, but I got to factor in that my plastic also might have been screwed up. But another 10.5-er. One thing I will mention too is that these plastics that we're using, these swing 'em in baits, these are all the same baits we were using this morning and have caught well over 100 fish on all these. So if you guys want some really strong plastics to check out, please use my discount code and buy some swing 'em in baits. Jeremy makes all the swim baits and stuff that I use for wipers and walleyes too. So highly encourage you to support local business and check Jeremy out with swing 'em in baits. Link is in the description. Let's catch a couple more and go home. Bitch. Pitch it out. Pitch it out. Pendulum. Pendulum. Got him. Pendulum gets them every time. Another 10 1/4 inch keeper. Just switch up colors. Again, when you're on a big school of fish like that, sometimes all it takes is just switching up technique or color, jig size, you know, size down for a slower fall. If you guys feel like they're a little bit fussy and they don't want to swim like crazy for it when the water's 33 or 34 degrees, let it swing right through them. Get the reaction. Try and do one more little pendulum. Got a little one. Well, not so little. Nope. I feel like I got to look at my GoPro clips, but I feel like we got to be over 20 at this point. We've been here. It's now 12:43, so fair bit of time. But just to show you guys how we do this in the wintertime, really can't get enough of it. I feel like every Livescope video that I do, I keep the clips too short, or it seems like there's a lot of footage, but I really don't make there a lot of footage. There's a really nice one. But with great rapidity do we catch them like this in the wintertime, and that's why I came back out. Okay, so tackle. Again, a lot of this will be somewhat repetitive, but I cannot stop promoting my very first ever sponsor as a guide service, Fox River Rods. So today we're using a mix between the 7'3" medium light and the 6'6" medium light. And the only reason for that is because I have several different rods rigged up with different baits. They just happen to be different lengths, but I prefer the 7'3" medium light. It gives you just a little bit extra length to get over those fish. I'm not a huge fan of the long rods, but I've got a couple Huckabee rods, 10-footers in the back of the boat, but really love that 7'3" medium light from Fox River. It's a great utility rod. You can use it for just about everything, but as far as colors today, I mean, at first, I think I was started out with this guy right here, which we put down, that ice blue and chartreuse with that 1/8 ounce jig on the bottom, 16th ounce jig on the top with that purple and chartreuse. That was really good, but put that one down and then started fishing that blue and chartreuse with the orange head, red and chartreuse with the chartreuse head on that one. But honestly, I think today they're not really super color specific. I think they just know that we have a huge cold front coming and these lakes are going to freeze, the water temp's going to drop. But as far as the reels and line are concerned, so I really like the PC Fun 1000 size and 2000 size in the wintertime. Obviously, we always think about and kind of relate small gear to crappies, but I like a 2000 size for the crappies because when you're letting those baits out, you know, down anywhere from 10 to 20 feet for those fish, the line comes off a 2000 or 3000 size spool a lot faster than a 1000 size does. And especially right now when the temps are like sub freezing, that braid is going to freeze into the spool and you're trying to get those baits down to fish. Granted, those fish are not going anywhere. You still want to get them down there as quick as possible. So for that reason, I do prefer the 2000 size PC Fun Carbon X2. As far as line, 10-pound Suffix 832. I really like Suffix 832 because it's not super grindy through the guides. The PC Fun braid is good and it's good for the price, but it is just a little bit rough coming through the guides and coming off the spool. So for that reason, I really like that Suffix 832, especially the white stuff, because it looks really good on those Carbon X 2000s. And last but not least, the jigs. We went over this in the last video. Those are redneck rubber jigs. Todd Huckabee at the Fishing Expo last weekend gave me some of those, and that is a really stout jig. It's got an Aberdeen style hook, steelhead hook, so it's not a typical sickle hook like I use in the wintertime around brush. Those steelhead hooks on those redneck rubber jigs are super stout. They will never bend out of anything, and they're super sticky sharp. I had to pull one out of a client's hand yesterday. But anyway, I hope you guys learned a little something about our winter crappies here in the Mid-South in Kansas. Again, for me, it's all about the river channel, just following the river channel. These crappies are schooled up not only off the river channels and the trees, but sometimes just out in the main river channel, just roaming around. Those are typically going to be your bigger. So use your electronics, don't follow other boats around. Use the maps that you've got. You guys can get the Navionics app for a little subscription now, but the Garmin Active Captain app also has the map. But use all that technology to your advantage. Use some of the techniques that I've showed you for Garmin Livescope today, whether it's vertical fishing or pitching those baits out a little bit farther to those fish. Either way, you can't go wrong. And when the water is 33 to 36 degrees in the wintertime in the the Mid-South, you're gonna catch a lot of crappies. So that being said, as far as my availability goes as a full-time fishing guide, I'm almost booked solid through the rest of the winter. I've got a couple random February openings for that last chance winter crappie bite, but as far as the spring and summer is concerned, April, May, and June are almost booked solid right now, especially for wipers and walleyes. So if you guys want to get out with me next fall or a winter for the late fall walleye bite or this winter crappie bite, please send me a message or send me an email or give me a call. All my information is listed down below. But as far as this video is concerned, I've been here for just a little less than an hour and it has been absolutely awesome. So thank you guys so much for sticking around. Hope you guys learned a thing or two. I'm gonna go figure out something else to do and just enjoy a big empty lake. Go tell my buddy Whit that these fish are over here so we can catch some too. And I will see you guys on the next video.